Oorah-dee-dah, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are joining me, thank you so much. What's up, what's up, what's up? Do. Kenji's World. Hey. Kenji's wearing orange. It's Kenji Pink. Now you know it ain't just orange. It's Kenji Pink. So welcome to the channel today. Man, it's scrolling across the bottom, so let's look at it. What was it? Yesterday, it was at like 58,000 and now it's down to 55 or 57. It's dropped down 2 grand. Bitcoin is going down. As I said, I think it's this Mt. Gox Japanese investment firm. Don't ask me for the details. Nothing I say is financial advice. Please check everything I bloody say. Who knows if he's talking out of that. But they're liquidating, like I said, about $7 billion of Bitcoin or paying people back. I don't know what the deal is, so I think that's why the price is being affected. Oh, if I had capital, if I had some cash, how I would be buying the dip right now. But clearly Kenji's not buying the dip. He's not as liquid as he likes. As I say, my liquidity slash fiat, I believe, will be increasing in October, November, as in getting to firmer foundations is when I kind of see the jump. But that's kind of beyond today's video or the scope of my knowledge. So, today on Kenji's World, it's just a recap, brought to you by Sodi Electrolytes. I'm kidding, I'm not sponsored by Sodi, but I do believe that you should have electrolytes in your life. I didn't really understand the benefits of electrolytes too much intellectually until my wonderful girlfriend explained it to me. She explained how water in our bodies is not held in the form that we see coming out of the tap. It's held in more of a gelatinous structure. There is a name for it. I've already forgotten. And the way that you can turn water from tap into more gelatinous structure that can be held in your body, this is a bastardization of the understanding, I'm sure, but is your electrolytes, potassium, magnesium, sodium. That's why in Japan they always have their salt drops or candies. They say eat the salt candies during hot and sweaty days. You got to replenish. If you don't have the sodium, you don't have the electrolytes, you're not going to be able to retain the water. And I had some friends in a meeting today. They were a little bit crook and, just make sure you have your electrolytes. Also, apple cider vinegar. I am a big fan. Always love apple cider vinegar in my water. I have my Camelback, that one you put inside backpacks. I have that in my other backpack right now. And that has got, I always put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in there. It just tastes so delicious. Especially when it's diluted. You get used to the flavor. And a bit of flavor with your water. Apple cider vinegar, sauerkraut, miso, those probiotic, good things for you. Look after your gut, look after your health. Now in terms of health, I'm currently still rehabbing my ankle. So we went to, I think I already talked about soak. And magnesium pools, but I'm back into my TENS therapy. I got a little TENS machine. TENS is, if you got the acronym, electric stimulation. There's little pads you put on your body, gives you a little electric stimulation. I put that on my ankles and I just give it a bit of vibration, a little current through there. And usually after I do and I have a good session, you kind of got to move the pads around, we've got to move the pads around, bro. But once you find the pads in a good position on either side of the ankle, I feel I can get a nice current through the ankle, and my mobility does seem a lot better. I remember when I stooged my knee and I was rehabbing my knee, I was doing the same thing with a little TENS machine that my dad has got from Japan. You can buy them online. But I did it on my knee. I just noticed mobility was just so much better. It's so good for you. Going to be using it with caution, obviously. Look up correct directions for use, not just zappy balls, So I've been doing that. Got some more rub on it. I had some nice emu oil. I've run out of emu oil. I'm now back to using Comfrey that I get from the chemist. I'm just so, not bummed, but I just just remember when I used to skate in Melbourne, my friend used to get this arnica cream that his friend had made, and he put so much arnica in it. And when we rubbed it on our sore ankles after skating, I could notice the difference. I could really notice this thing working in me, I just found so many things over the counter. They're good, they're nice. I understand they have an accounted safe dose that is put into the product. Sometimes I think, check it full of the goodness, man. Just give it to me. I need to feel it. But who knows what's going on inside my body? I don't really understand. I sometimes consume things too much. Red light therapy, TENS machines, ointment topical rub, and physical mobility exercises. My current regime. And for my spiritual practices, obviously morning meditations, reading literature that is spiritual literature or scripture-related literature, anything really that just reminds me, because the more I start venturing into business and the world around me is human world, us we're living in the human world, I think it's just so easy to lose touch. To lose touch with the most important things. We get caught up in technicalities, we get caught up in all this thought and thought exercises that man can go through. Also, man has many complex concepts we try to wrap our brains around, which I think tests the old noggin, the old Brian, but it can detract from fundamental base reality. So I had to go for a little cycle after a big meeting. I need to move my body. Just get back to my body, just get back to my breath. So the question always is, what's your practice? What are you doing? How are you coming back? Come back home. Come back home. Return. Return to spirit. Return to life. Return to God. Return to goodness. And just come back to good stuff. Come back to the basics. Come back to love. So the breath is really important. What's your practice? Well, what's your grounding practice? Do you get time out in nature, away from the hustle and bustle, or do you at least sit somewhere, peace and quiet, just with yourself for a little bit of time? Even during your work day, do you allow yourself 2 minutes, 3 minutes, as long as it would take you to go pee, but let's say you give yourself that time to just step away. Those micro gaps, that third spacing through the day helps, I feel, enormously whilst you're still operating in man's world. Even in any world, realistically. Lots going on. There's news media, there's our phones, digital, everything's so quick. But the digital moves at speed, and so do the trees. So do the winds, so do the bees, the birds. Nature has a pace. And we have a tendency to move away from that pace, away from fundamentals. So Kenji's going to be really annoying, and you're going to hear him time and time again tell you, or ask you, what's your practice? What you doing? How are you balancing yourself in your life? This is always going to be a question. And the more I go into business and money, I think it's going to be more imperative. Not even that, as we're just operating as people, to come back. So that's kind of all I got today at the moment. I'm reading, like I said, the Philokalia, the Eastern Orthodox Christian book, which is really nice, and also just balancing between Marianne Williamson, A Return to Love at the moment is a book I am reading. It's really nice, very simple. It's those spiritual concepts or the life presented in a easy language. And soul nourishing, I would say. Soul nourishing. And another one, a classic that I'll be coming back to. This is more things that I just continue to revise as I enter into business. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen R. Covey. I'm sure many people are aware. It's a great book, really great book. I actually gave a copy that I had to my brother, because he's going in to try and move up a little bit more in his business that he's working in. He's the hairdresser. And management and skill-based is in technical abilities, like purely cutting hair versus a managerial position. Very different people skills and just skills in general. So I thought it was a powerful book for him. But as I was just flipping through the pages before I gave it to him, I thought, I did want to go through this again before I gave it to him. And I just went to the bookstore and I bought it cheap. So got myself another copy. Do you have another copy? But another copy. Podcasts that I went back to. Oh man, this was the one I had to get my girlfriend to send me a memo. I returned to this podcast. It was so good. The storytelling was just great because the story was great. So many great concepts in there for building great teams, supporting great teams. I really loved the conversation. It was hunting access deer in Hawaii, one of the islands. Maui Nui is this product, venison. And Jake Muse on Tim Ferriss, number 678, where Jake Muse was discussing how he has team evaluation questions that they've created the HHS scorecard, Humble, Hungry, and Smart, which came from a book called The Ideal Team Player by Patrick Lencioni. I have not read it. Apparently it's a great book. And during that conversation, Tim Ferriss also recommended Mental Training Toughness for Sports and The Road Less Stupid. A couple of book recommendations were given in that podcast, which I revisited because I thought it was a really great podcast. Had so many, and I listened to it again. Still so good. So I've gone back to it. I'd highly recommend if anyone is listening. And check it out. Tim Ferriss, really love his work. Hence why I'm actually holding this mic. He was interviewing before my day, and he was holding the mic just into a Zoom recorder. So I thought, you know what? Thanks, Tim. I'm going to just go for its messy action. So that's kind of it. Kenji's World today. A little recap. Hey, how are ya? I'll be back again tomorrow. You know me. You'll see this wonderful face. I'll be right here. What's tomorrow? Tuesday. Yes, I'll be right here, baby. Bitcoin, still 55 grand. ETH has dropped under 3 Gs at the moment. I think, was there an ETH ETF approval? I'm not too sure. I thought it was approved somewhere, but still had to go through some Senate house. I'm not too sure. I'll try and figure that out for you if the ETF approval is approved. I heard it was going to be a proper approved somewhere in November. So I believe, never my words of financial advice, but I can see a crypto pump definitely happening at the end of the year. I definitely would love to pack more bags, mine some fiat currency, and turn it into Bitcoin. I'd say I would probably highly enjoy it. I'd recommend, or at least I'd say look into it. Check it out. What is Bitcoin? What's going on here? I don't know. I'll do a Bitcoin talk tomorrow. I'll discuss, I guess, my thoughts on it. Good things, bad things. What could it be? What may it be? What may it not be? I don't know all of it. But I think it's a pretty cool technology. Interesting things are happening in that space. And I look forward to the conversation. So till next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining Kenji's World. I'll see you tomorrow. Much love. Peace.